Bitcoin, Bitcoin, the floodgates are open, time to make some money. If you've been buying those dips and watching my videos, I'm sure you've bought some money clips. Yeah, that's pretty amazing how it came back down to that 150 figure. A little over, 2 years now? Oh, no, that was, it's beginning of 2015. About a year and a half ago, we got down to that 150 figure. If you watched some of my previous videos, there was some forecasting of that result. You would have made some nice profits. Now the question is, where will you be when Bitcoin goes bonkers? Is this going to happen, folks? It really, really is going to happen. Not just because of the technicals that are happening as we speak, but because of some fundamental principles I would like you to know about. There is stability in Bitcoin finally. Many corruptible aspects of its platform are being weaned out. Bitcoin has infrastructure to back its growth now. You know, we actually have Bitcoin departments that are just there to help consolidate issues that Bitcoin is having. Many major companies are starting to accept Bitcoin as a legitimate payment. Companies that compete with Amazon are accepting Bitcoin. How amazing is that? Even other companies, you can buy gift cards, just corporate gift cards for, your Starbucks, your McDonald's, your Walmarts. You can buy gift cards with Bitcoin to shop at those places. That's incredible. Small businesses are taking advantage of Bitcoin's unique transaction model. With fear over global currencies, Bitcoin is becoming a store of wealth. Free energy release will help people become independent. Bitcoin becomes the tool of commerce. Yes. When the global economy dies, what will be left will be what is certain. And what is certain is Bitcoin. It is the only capitalistic item to date in modern society. What do I mean by that? Well, it's pretty obvious. Capitalistic referring to free market referring to the invisible hand. And the invisible hand is the unconscious urges of a species, a sentient species, regarding monetary exchange and how that pressure evolves into a manifestation, which is your price action, which is your want versus need versus availability. We no longer have a want versus need versus availability. It is simply none of the above. It is just pure regulation that has nothing to do with the actual economy. There is an artificial economy that is super bloating the actual economy. You look at the Dow Jones, you look at the precious metal markets, there's a complete inflation and deflation principle going on there. What do I mean? Well, you look at the hyperinflation of the Dow Jones, in that none of it makes sense. We are in a depression, and yet many companies are making highs every single day, week, month, year. Google, I don't even want to look at what that's at. It makes no sense to me. When you're in such a depressed economy, infrastructure, growth rates in first world nations are at an all-time low. You've got civil unrest in countries that haven't had that ever. It's just unbelievable. So what we have here is a first capitalistic item. There is actual an unconscious urge attached to it that truly decides where it goes. And the nice thing is, you, Mr. Average Joe, can be a part of this. And the elitists don't like that. They like being in charge. They like being the ones with all the money. They don't want you to make money. And in a dying economy, there are profits to be made. The beauty about the times we are in is we get to see the destruction of one of the most corrosive, toxic, vile systems of control. We get to see that destroyed, and out of the ashes shall rise a phoenix. And those feathers on that phoenix shall shine like the rays of the sun, and the beak will be made of Bitcoin. The phoenix's beak is the Bitcoin. So, we have free energy patents. You can see them. They're there. The ones that the energy companies don't want you to know about. And you can see all the trolls and all the videos saying, oh, this is bullcrap. I'll go get my flux capacitor while I'm at it. I mean, there's just trolling all over these videos. But it's there. The free energy's there. And with the dying economy, with the chaotic minds running stuff the way they are, there isn't much time before stuff really goes into hyper action. And because we're in a hypersensitive period right now. You see all these highs and lows of the volatile markets. But back at the inflation deflation concept I was talking about. So you have the inflated Dow Jones and global economies, but then you have the deflationary aspects of the precious metals. Gold should not be that low. Silver should not be that low. Silver is not just because of the technicals, but because of the fundamental principle that if you cannot supply enough of the product based on its demand, the price goes up. Right now, the industrial demand for silver is far outweighing its accumulation, meaning there's not enough silver anymore. They're going into the reserves. They're going into reserves that are almost 100 years old just to give out the physical silver that is in demand right now. So that bubble has to pop. It has to. Now, will that be the first bubble? I'm not sure. But there are some very interesting aspects about Bitcoin that will help it break out. And those are just some of them. Now, to our technical graph of Bitcoin. To give you a basic layman's idea of how I come about my figures is I just look for basic support levels on a day, month, year basis, and then the resistance levels, and I use that as a indicator combined with the volume levels of those support and resistance levels, and see if I can find any what I call elephants in the room. Elephants in the room being these, see that aquamarine bubble and the aquamarine oval? That's an elephant in the room. Because we look back at all of the price action that has occurred, the major price action movements occur with large volume levels. Look at this recently. Do you see that volume drop off? But yet we have such high price movement. It's incredible what's going on. So that means that there are simply just fundamental principles that are starting to kick in on an unconscious level, that people are starting to really no longer just use Bitcoin as a speculative platform, but truly investment. Because look, people aren't selling. These highs are coming out and people are not selling. They're holding on. So what's that telling you? It's telling you that the majority of people, after Bitcoin being in such a long channel and consolidation period, that even at such high breakouts, they don't want to sell. They do not want to sell. That means even your sellers are bullish. That is your greatest indicator of a brand new wave breakout occurring, which we really need to break. We need to break above 800 and hold 800 for me to consider this a true breakout. Otherwise, we could easily see these resistance levels or these support levels kicking back in the 625, the 525 area, those can easily come back right now. Maybe because those people holding right now might all of a sudden start saying, wait a second, are we going to have another breakdown? And then they cause the breakdown to happen. So what is going to basically be the comparison here is how strong is the investment incentive based on the speculative bears. What holds more strength is going to be what determines where this puppy goes. I do seeing it breaking above 900. I do see that in the next month. Given our current trend holds, which easily could not happen, but if our trend holds, we will see that 900 figure kicking. Hope you enjoyed this.